hope you're having a wonderful day. Happy Thursday. We made it to Thursday. Can you believe it? We made it all the way to Thursday. So feel free to share your shows throughout my show. If you ever come into one of my chat shows, you're very free to share your shows and tell us about what you have going on in your selling. Hello, Kubil. How are you? And Slusher, Annie Q. How are you? Welcome in, Slusher Taniq. Maybe I didn't say that. I don't know. I may have said that wrong. Good morning. How are you doing? Welcome in. So, I don't have much new news to tell you because there's not much new news to say. So, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, it's just going to be a chat and work along. I'm probably not going to go on for too long today, just because I need to go out and about today. I need to go out and about. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. There's no new tariff news. That's the good news. I'm just double checking. And there are no new tariff news. No new news. I'm just going to write that. No new news. Post. Okay. So today I have to just do the wrapping for yesterday's stuff that I haven't wrapped yet. So I'm going to start doing my shipping. And oh, there is the bubble wrap. I was wondering where it was. So I'm going to just do my shipping. And if you have any questions, let me know. Mod Vintage. Hello. Good morning. How are you? And let me just pin down below for you. I do have lots of free resources that are available for Whatnot sellers. I'm doing good. How are you doing? I'm going to do some wrapping this morning. I sold a bunch of things yesterday, so now I need to wrap them. That's the one thing about selling, right? Are you getting sun? Oh, that's good. I can see the sun coming up. Our sun's just starting to peek out, and it looks like it's going to be hot in at least my sunroom, if not anywhere else. My sunroom at least will be hot. So sorry for the background noise. If you're watching right now on Twitch or YouTube, hello, how are you doing? I apologize, I do not read the chat on Twitch or YouTube, so please come on over. If you're watching this later on, I hope you had a great day, and I hope your Thursday was good to you if you're watching this later. Hi, Thrifty Gypsy, how are you? Okay, I need to find a safe place to put these. There you go. So, whenever I'm shipping anything, I tend to put it. Look how cute this is! Look how cute this is. It's a little ducky. That is so freaking cute. So these are little red rose teapots that I sold yesterday. So I first I always wrap in tissue paper first with the shiny side out. So the shiny side is not against the item, because on items like this that are cold painted, a lot of people don't realize that a lot of vintage stuff, the black and the red is cold painted later. So some of it, like the yellow and the green, that was done and fired, so it's got a glaze to it. But then some of this other detail, like the red, was done afterwards in a process called cold painting, because they don't heat it up afterwards so that it will adhere to the product. So it tends to flake off. And if you put bubble wrap directly against this, it's going to pull more of that cold paint off. So instead of me worrying about is it cold painted or isn't it cold painted, I just assume that it is cold painted, and I just wrap everything. I just wrap everything in tissue paper first. Not books. I don't worry about books. Books just go wrapped in paper. I'm going to cut this in half because it's a little bit much to have that much. Good morning, Magical A. How are you? How is life? The good news is there's no new tariff news. It's same old poop, different day. So we don't have to worry about that. I still don't know about when we're going to do a Whatnot supported meetup. So Magical A, we just may. You're working away as well. I'm doing good. I'm just wrapping. So I've got lovely background noise for you all to listen to. But I'm hoping that we can do a meetup in the Greater Toronto area. but we may just have to do it on our own. Oh no, Vixen Veronica says Hubs and I got into a heated debate with me ending the conversation with, "I just hate the world we live in," about tariffs. Yeah. I have officially joined Blue Sky. So I'm not going to completely eliminate right now my meta platform use and my Google use. I must admit that I am quite attached to my Google use. But I have reduced how much I spend on Amazon to nearly zero, except for I can't give up my Prime yet. But I think that if we start speaking to the business community with our money by not spending with them, I think they'll pay attention to that. Certainly, even even when Ontario, our province, took bourbon off the shelves, the bourbon, Kentucky was like, oh my God, because we Canadians drink a lot. We do actually drink a lot. Good morning, Dave. Good morning, Jet Comics, and everyone else who's come in that I've missed. I apologize. Good morning. How are you doing? I am currently wrapping everything nice and pretty. So, Hub said to me, "There's nothing we can do. Government always wins." Yeah. So the thing is that politicians listen when enough voices speak that are sensible and sane when they're doing it, instead of just rants. Politicians listen to polls. Politicians listen to, "I'm never going to vote for you again." I worked in politics in a conservative, a Canadian Conservative Party. Like I was employed as a political advisor, and I did communications and marketing, and I also did outreach. And anyways, they listen when it's going to affect their ability to get reelected. So the people that you need to get to speak up are the people who are what we would call card carrying Tories, but registered Republicans. Registered Republicans need to make phone calls. Registered Democrats need to call as well, but registered Republicans, trust me, when you phone, your number comes up and it's a database pops up and says, "Here's the history of this person, how many times they've called or written or emailed or come into the place." They've got a database for it all. The US is way more sophisticated than us. They have a history of all the times that you have voted or not voted. So if you call in and you've never voted before and you threaten that you're never going to vote for them again, well, they know that you never went to the polls, because all that information is tracked. It's all tracked. It's all on big butt databases. So data is important. So if they start to see a trend where a lot of people who have always registered Republican, voted in the primaries, and then voted on election day, start saying they're gonna rescind their membership, that's when things change. So you can already see that there's a slight shift, but people need to continue to speak up and not just give in, because that's what they want. Vixen Veronica says, "I've worked the polls, but never at that level." I will say that I'm glad I did it, and I'm appreciative for the income that I received during that time. So I'm not going to say that I'm not appreciative in that way, but I certainly lost a lot of respect. Once you are closer in, you lose a lot of respect for people that are in authority, because of how they make decisions, and more the indecisions than the decisions made me lose respect, to be honest. I would never have made, there were a few times when I was asked to run for the party in a provincial or federal election. There were times that I was asked by organizers, but it was always in ridings where there was no way that I was going to win. So first of all, why would I want to spend my time doing that? Because that's, you have to give up your job because you can't work and walk around knocking on doors for 40 days. It's so much time. It's so much energy. It was way too costly, and there was going to be no back benefit for me. At least they didn't offer any back benefit when I hesitated. So, it takes an emotion, especially if you're going to run in a riding where you're not likely to win and you're just being put in there because nobody else wants to run in that riding. They asked me to run against, okay, for those who are Canadian, you will understand when I say they asked me to run against Bob Ray once. Why am I going to do that? I can't beat Bob Ray in a debate. I don't want to go to a debate and not win. And to be honest, the talking points that I used to say, how many times did I say trickle down economics when I was young? Like young. I would say trickle down economics. The talking points that I would say make me cringe now to think about the stuff that I would say. Oh my gosh. You grow up. No, they haven't. They're the same talking points. They haven't given up on these talking points. So they've been telling you for decades who they are. And I just didn't. I was in my bubble. I lived in a bubble. And that's the thing, is that you have to break into the bubble. So the really important is, if you go to a protest, make sure that you steer clear of any sort of indication of violence. If anybody is holding up a sign that says string them up or anything else that's a physical threat, walk the freak away from, like, get as far away from there as you can. Just be careful that way, because trust me, that's where they're going to go. There's going to be a sudden violent streak to protests, which will be, my brain says, will be manufactured. So if you are going to go to a protest, stay the heck away from anyone with a sign that says anything that even indicates violence, unless it's saying, I'm against violence against women or something. Oh no, Vixen Veronica says, look, someone pulled a gun on her husband's employee this week. They're in construction. What? Oh man. My husband just said to me, we're going to go get our licenses so we can have hunting rifles. He actually said that. And he's never wanted. So we're actually worried about we honestly are worried about an invasion up here. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Anyways, if you have whatnot questions, please let me know. I'm going to continue to wrap stuff up. I've just done that set. So what can I do next? Oh, I'll do Mickey and Minnie, I think. Yes. Minnie. Mickey. Look how cute these are. These are real Walt Disney production salt and pepper shakers. They're missing their little, are they salt and pepper shakers? Maybe they're not salt and pepper shakers. No, they aren't salt and pepper shakers. Anyways, they're really cute. They're not salt and pepper shakers. I assumed they were. Anyways, they're super cute. They're I thought they were too. Well, anyways, they're worth way more than what was paid, and I'm happy for that, because they do have holes. I know, but there's no holes at the top. I'm just looking now and I cannot see any holes. Anyways, here's another example of cold painting. The black and the red on her is cold painted. So that's why, good morning, Mama's Drama. That's why he's cold painted too. So you can see there's a little bit right here. So that's why I always wrap in tissue paper first. Good morning, Crazy Bead Lady. Good morning, everyone. Welcome in. I think it's gonna be okay, Vix and Veronica, if everyone just starts speaking up. No one should remain silent. I mean, because the alternative is that if people don't speak up, nothing's going to change. And that includes in Canada. Like, nothing's going to change in Canada, too. if we don't speak up. And Canada is about to go into an election. Good morning, Team Goofy. Good morning. I was just wrapping some Disney stuff right now. Okay, I've done that. Now I need bubble wrap for Mickey and Minnie. A wee bit of bubble wrap. And then, yeah, well, you know what? Part of the strategy is to wear you down. That's why it's this shock and awe. It's very much like the German Blitzkrieg is just to overload you with so much going on that you just feel completely overwhelmed. It's a tactic that you can learn about it. Steve Bannon actually Steve Bannon talks a lot about strategy. You can learn a lot about their strategy by listening to podcasts that Steve Bannon is on, if you can stand listening to him for that long. So you can learn what they're doing, and then you know how to counteract it. But see, Vix and Veronica, I think a lot of people are avoiding the news. And so news coverage has turned to those who are going to, so the journalists are just trying to get your attention enough that you so they need your attention so that they can keep working, because if they don't have views like on their websites and stuff, then they're not going. So they're looking for how do they get your attention so that you'll look at their news. So the best thing you can do is even just blind scroll. Like just turn and watch something else and scroll through a newspaper that you know is reporting the news. And also, if you know about a protest that's happening in your area, and make sure that and your local news doesn't cover it, call them and ask them why. Call them and ask them why they weren't covering a peaceful protest that was about an important issue. Call them out. Call them out. The first thing to go in a fascist overtaking of a government is media. So they've sort of got meta, although I can still see all kinds of left-wing stuff, and I don't see any crazy right-wing stuff very often. So the algorithm's working still on my meta platforms. But like they've got Twitter. I refuse to call it the other name, which is just dumb. And who else do they have? And Google started to do things. So yeah, stand up. Stand strong and call them out on it by contacting. It's your local news stations that are going to be really important. Local news stations need to keep offering a balanced coverage. So if they want to go ahead and talk about something, they still need to have balanced coverage. Or they can't call themselves journalists. In my humble opinion, journalists really focusing on what's going to be sensational rather than what is factual and important for people to know. This switch to this has been going on for as long as print has happened, and because rich people own print. Good morning, Melody. And I hate to say it, but prepare financially for this to be a recession. So hold on to your socks, because the United States is going into a recession. It's a manufactured recession. He wants it this way, and because the rich always get richer during a recession because they're able to buy low right now. So protect your investments. And make sure you have some cash on hand if you can. Veronica says, I heard Canadians are speaking up and not going to be snowbirds in Florida. It's interesting to see the mixed responses from people here. Yeah, I mean, there's a new law that's actually not a new law. They're actually enforcing a very old law that's from like the First World War, I think Second World War, where um, aliens, as we're known, Canadian aliens and aliens from any country who come into the United States and are going to stay for more than a month need to register, and that includes all of everything. Like, so you have to fill in forms, and you have to give your iris and your fingerprints and all that. Had about 6 boxes to go through, but mixed up the addresses. Oh no. Um, so thoughts on Justin? He's retired now. Good luck to him. Well, semi-retired. Good luck to him. Good luck to him. Um, better than the alternative, but I know the person running to the. I actually know the person who's running. I have met him. I have talked to him for many years, and I wouldn't vote for him. So that's that. That's that. Mark Carney seems like a good economic bet in my books. So yeah, snowbirds are not a lot of Canadians are selling off their homes in Florida. So if you want to move to Florida and get a place right now, it's probably going to be a lower housing market for like retirement communities. So if you're American and you always wanted to live in Florida or retire to Florida, then go buy up some property that Canadians are getting rid of. It also means probably that the thrift stores are going to be epic right now because they're going to be emptying their houses too, and all of their stuff they're not going to bring back up to Canada. But yeah, even there's a picture in the news that I saw of so it's our March break right now. I think it's your spring break too. And usually Pearson Airport on like the Friday before like the Friday that is the official start of March break is usually Pearson is like a zoo. It's full of people. It's insane. You can't move. There's like all the flights are booked and it was almost empty. They had a picture of the Terminal 1 and there were barely any people in the picture. And normally it's like you can't move because there's so many people on March break. People are not coming to the United States. They're just we are making decisions that way. Is your Caleb? I don't know what that means, crazy bee lady. Charlotte County is at its peak of foreclosures right now. Oh no. Yeah. And I think like a lot of tourism in Florida is from the UK. So I think there's going to be a lot less people coming from the UK too because they're concerned about safety, and some people will be coming because they're hoping to get a cheap rate. Some of that's the 5 hurricanes in the last 4 years. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and hurricanes are just going to keep coming. So I always find it interesting when I see the news and everyone's like shocked that it happened to them. And it's so sad and I feel so bad. But at the same time, I'm like, you live in Hurricane Alley. Yes. Well, okay. So if there are hurricanes during Trump's administration and he's in charge of DARPA, is he the one now creating the hurricanes? Like who's, if in the conspiracy theory, DARPA is controlling the weather. If that is true, then therefore there should be no more hurricanes for the next 4 years. So if there are hurricanes this year, who did it? Oh, crazy bee lady, mine will have a red rooster sticker on it, so you'll know for sure. Chit Chats has been really, really slow. Cactus Kale says, I'm in SoCal and our local population triples during snowbird season. Lots of Canadians. I think Canadians will feel comfortable still going to California, to be honest, because it's a red state and there's a lot more human rights. Although, what is Gavin Newsom doing recently? Who got to him and why is he being like the way he is? But anyways, he's turning and let's not make him president because of it. I was thinking he would be great, but Mickey and Minnie. Veronica says, I moved to, yes, they do still have the death penalty. I moved to Florida for the beach and the climate, but now I'm wondering what I got myself into. Well, Southern California. California's the Garden of Eden, a paradise to live in or to see. But believe it or not, you won't find it so hot if you ain't got the do-re-mi. Good old Woody. A good old Woody song about California, which was actually a song to warn migrants not to go to California because it was going to be too expensive and they were going to just have to leave again. Back in the Depression, the Great Depression. It's still, yes, you know what? Belize and Costa Rica. Dear Whatnot. Did I see a complete unknown? I don't know what that means. Oh, congratulations on getting egg. Crazy Bead Lady, you've suffered through 3 of my shows. You now have coupons up above. Belize and Costa Rica. So Dear Whatnot, please add Belize and Costa Rica to your list. I didn't see the Dylan movie. I need to see that. I got really into Woody because of Woody Guthrie, because of a really cool documentary in the 1980s with like Bruce Springsteen and Emmylou Harris all singing his songs. It was awesome. It was on PBS because that was one of the 3 channels that I could get on at home. I'll definitely have to watch it. You wish your remote job allowed you to work out of the country. Vix and Veronica, you never know. You might be able to get a remote job with Whatnot. Whatnot's always looking for seller support agents for their customers, their support program. They have seller support agents. Oh, Magical Ace says VPN and you can work from anywhere. That's true. The howling monkeys might give you away though. You'll have to make sure that you close your windows when you're on a Zoom call so the howling monkeys don't give you away as to where you are. They're loud. They're very loud. Okay, I did Mickey and Minnie. Let's see who I can do next. I'm gonna do this bird. Bird is the word. But I would love to be able to move to like Costa Rica or something and still sell on Whatnot. I could go to gringo markets in that. Oh, you work with HIPAA. Okay, Vixen Veronica. Just gonna say that since that's a federal government job, isn't it? So I would suggest that you look at Vancouver, Canada. Vancouver Island has really good jobs for people who are in the health profession and doing what you do. So yeah, we would love to have you come up to Canada and use your health skills. If you get a message asking you what the 5 things were that you accomplished today. I don't know if Canada even has the reimbursement we do. Well, see, no, because people don't have to pay for medicine. But you could do other types of counseling here. I'm sure you could do other types of counseling. Anyways, Canada's, yes, 100% transferable skills. 100% transferable skills. You pay for medicine. Yes, we still have to pay for pharma. We don't have full pharma care, eye care, dental care in Canada, and not all of like if you break your leg and you need to have a crutch, crutches or a cane, or some sort of assistive device, you do need to pay for that. If you cannot afford that, you can apply for the assistive devices program. So, ooh, Antigua, that sounds lovely. Although, do they get storms too, Veronica? Because to be honest, I would. Ooh, Switzerland sounds lovely. Not as warm though. Does it have hot spots? Does it have warm spots in Switzerland? Or is it, I just kind of just see mountains. They do take care of their people. And surprisingly, the quality of life is really high, and people still have lots of money to spend on things. So they still have disposable income. The suggestion always being that if you have universal health care and human rights and, like maternity leave and paternity leave that's like sensible. Canada is far behind Europe. Like we have to catch up with Europe. We're so far behind. But they suggest that, you're not going to have any disposable income because all your money's going to go to taxes. But that's not the case. Not actually true. We have lots of disposable income in Canada and Finland. I think Finland. Well, I mean, yeah, Jojo. I think we're put on this earth to make lives better for everyone. I think we're meant to be here to help our fellow man. And that, yeah, having a job is part of being able to support your family, raise your family, volunteer in your community, all that kind of stuff. I agree. We're meant to, Veronica says, I literally said yesterday, I think we're meant to be here to leave the place 1% better than we left it. Yeah, I agree. But we're also here to enjoy life. I mean, we should appreciate and enjoy life. I saw a meme this morning that was about it was a quote about dogs. Yeah, it was a quote about dogs and how when you come home, no matter where you are, a dog is so happy to see you, right? Like they're so happy and they're so excited. Like if you want to go on a car ride, Romeo would be like the first one to jump in. Like they're so happy to see you. They're so happy to play. They love, rolling around and everything they do, they seem to enjoy it and have fun. And this is the bird. I have to write this down before I forget. Dear Lord, where did I put my pen? I put it in a sensible place. There it is. Bird. But dogs they don't live as long as we do. So the meme said, a dog, 1 week of your life, or no, so 1 day of your dog's life is like a week of your life. So they live life to the fullest because they do have they have an expiration date. And we should be more like a dog. We should enjoy things more, enjoy life, and make other people happy. Dave says, I thought we were here to live in a little inbred bubble in Alberta. Jojo and Sloan says, think of all the stress we have and not good healthcare, a bad combination. Yeah. And the uber rich person who is currently the semi-president, doing all kinds of things he shouldn't illegally. By the way, what he does is not covered by presidential immunity. So one day it could come back on him. But he's already said publicly many, many times that he's not worried about the little people. He doesn't worry about the little people. He thinks that Medicare should be completely eliminated. Social Security could be completely eliminated because they're just, people think they're entitlements and they're really not entitled to it. Vixen Veronica says, my dog is sick right now. My boss told me dogs are only on this earth a short time because we can't handle the heartbreak if they live longer. Aw, I don't know. I can't handle the heartbreak every time I lose a dog. I do sing a Woody Guthrie song to them every time before they pass on. There's another Woody Guthrie reference. Dave from Alberta says, Vixen, I think of Alberta as a little Texas, Arkansas wannabe. Yeah. Like, it's kind of. I mean, Calgary isn't as much, but the rest of it, they very much. I mean, they made a lot. Alberta at one time was producing so much oil. There was so much money. They were Dallas. They were Texas. And they were making so much money. But now the oil that they have left over, because they pumped all the dead dinosaur juice out, the easy to find dead dinosaur juice is almost all gone. So now they're working with tar sands and that, which are a lot more environmentally corrupt and difficult and costly to extract what they need out of. So if so at one point Alberta was basically their transfer payments going to other provinces. They were helping. At one point Ontario was a have not province and Alberta was propping us up. So I thank you for that. I thank you for that. I thank Alberta. However, I think you should have slowed your roll on pulling out all that dinosaur juice, because I was taught in the 70s that we were going to run out of dinosaur juice. So um everywhere is going to run out of dinosaur juice. Like, there's only so many dinosaurs that died. It's not like new dinosaurs have died in the past million years that we can pump their juice out. So I don't know what we're going to do. Are we going to have to go to really old cemeteries and hope that there's some people juice to pull out? I don't know. Vixen Veronica says the people I know from there are pro orange hole. Yeah. And Dave from Alberta says even in Alberta, the pro orange holes are very few. Which should show how low the bar is. Yeah, well, they're just quiet. Um, or they're just quiet, right, Dave? Because what I find is that, like, I have a friend on Whatnot who just will remain quiet when our other friends discuss things related to what's going on. We'll just remain quiet and not say anything and just not it just I know that they see it. I know that they've at least, they've scrolled past it, but they don't make any comments. They just remain quiet. They go back under the rock from whence they came, as my father would say. They go and they hide and they wait. They lie in wait like a little crab, like Scorpio. My friend described people who were Scorpio. He's a psychic, and he described people as Scorpio because he was a Scorpio. He said, so we live under our rock and we hide under our rocks. And then every once in a while we come out and we go, woo! And then we go run it back in and hide under our rocks again. And it actually, but I think that, to be honest, Ian, if you're listening, you were more doing the woohoo the entire time and you didn't find your rock. Jojo and Sloan says, I'm a Scorpio and I've never hid under a rock. Yeah, he was always out from under the rock, waving his arms. He's also a liberal. So as an Aquarius, you can't relate. Yeah, the exact opposite. You know what? I think all the astrology stuff is really interesting and fascinating, but because I'm a Libra. So I do think that I match, for some reason. I match a lot of the qualities of Libra, but yeah, isn't it interesting? Like, because it says, we're balanced and we weigh everything and we take longs for decisions. Yeah, your daughter's a Libra. My daughter's a Libra. So my daughter and I are like very similar. Very. When we used to go out, when she was about 18, when we used to go out together, because our ages, I was 24 when I had her. We go out and they would assume that we were sisters or something, or best friends. We asked for a bottle of San Pellegrino at a restaurant and she brought us a bottle of white wine. And I was like, San Pellegrino. She's 18. Jojo says, hate being reasonable. Yeah. Jojo and Sloan says want peace. Yeah. I mean, we try to get along with everybody. It's impossible to get along with everybody. And it's taken me 52 years to realize that I cannot be everything to all people. Melody says, my brothers are Libras and they're twins. Oh, that's cool. Vixen Veronica says, I'm not nearly as free-spirited as most Aquarius. I swear my moon must make me a little Capricorn. Little bit with the horns on the top. Dave says that that also has to quit. The huge polarization, left, right, liberal, conservative, and you must hate the other side about, yes, absolutely. I totally agree. How about common sense middle, says Dave from Alberta. I think common sense middle, what what the United States of America needs to do is I mean, our common sense middle never gets elected. Usually. Or it just goes back and forth. If the right wing party decides to be a little bit more centrist, then they win. As soon as they start to go right wing again, they lose. The left centrist, the liberals, they'll go centrist for the election, and then they'll go back to leaning a little bit more left, and then they lose. It's you have to have Vixen Veronica says you can just have common sense. I think we are the quiet ones frequently. I've started speaking up because it's saddening. Yeah, the common sense people stay quiet. We try to not get into the conflict. But it's not, this is about more than conflict now. This isn't about just disagreeing on things. This is an abrupt change to society. For us in Canada, what we see down south is a threat to our own sovereignty. Like, we're about to be the next Crimea. And it ain't happening. It's just not happening. When my husband says he wants to get a hunting rifle so that we can defend our property, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Jojo and Sloan says we don't need parties. We two parties. We need one party that supports our country because we're just one country. If we had two parties fighting, we only have 50%. I think what you need is more a parliamentary system. To be honest, I think that the fact that you only have A or B choice, Republican or Democrat, and then some independents every once in a while, is what is actually harming your country, because it is splitting it up, and it is a constant divide. You're either this or you're that, and there's no in between. In other democracies, it's a multiple choice question, so you can choose your flavor. And so oftentimes and having one person be elected and able to stay there is not a good thing, because if they do go off the rails, there's nothing you can do until 4 years is up, right? Whereas in a parliamentary system, if a leader of a party goes off the rails, goes wrong, it gets really unpopular, the party can kick that person out and they're no longer prime minister, and you can select somebody else. But do I see that happening? I don't know. No, I can't see. You're not going to change it. Although, if he rips up the Constitution, then after it's all over, you can create a new Constitution, and you can base it more upon a parliamentary system. A Republican, maybe it's not a republic anymore. Of the country basically doing better, anything to make things better, and the other side doing the exact opposite. It feels like they're constantly just they're fighting for funds. Basically, that's the other thing that needs to change. You need to have electoral. It's electoral funding reform. You need to have electoral finance reform. You need to do electoral finance reform so that businesses and rich people cannot donate too much, right? And also finance reform about third-party advertising and campaigning during an election. Those laws need to change as well, because that's part of the problem. But anyways, I'm not going to fix it. You guys have to fix it if you want to fix it. Vixen Veronica says, I'd like to see us be more like Germany, force the parties to work together once elected. Yeah, so right now in Canada, are the party that is that has the prime minister, who is Mark Carney now. It's a Liberal Party, and they don't have the majority of votes in the House of Commons, so they're considered the minority party has to work with another party in order to be able to keep going. Otherwise, a vote of non-confidence is held and an election is called, and then the people decide whose party is going to be in power based on how many members of parliament are elected from each party. So the people speak and decide who they decide the party and the policies that they're going to agree to. So it's not about one person. It's not about like Justin Trudeau or Mark Carney or Pierre Poilievre. It's about the party, and their policies. Um, so we are close to having another election but the NDP, the New Democrat Party, which is kind of like if Bernie Sanders was to come up to Canada, he'd probably be an NDP or a Green Party. He might be Green Party. Although I think Green Party goes a little too hard on like is too pro business for him. He might just stick with the NDP. Yeah. Dave says we do need to support the whole country, but then Quebec and Alberta don't. Sometimes, yeah. I mean, Quebec and Alberta both sort of feel like they want to be a separate nation, and I don't even know how it would work if Alberta decided that they wanted to be the 51st state. I don't know, but it would be a huge, like, it'd have to be a whole constitutional crisis thing. We would be back to like 1990, what was it, 1991, when we had that constitutional crisis. Divided people don't overturn government. Yeah. Hey D. Good morning. D says we'll fight and protest where it hurts. Yeah. Jojo and Sloan said I started Maha Mums and I'm hoping to see change. Yay, make America healthy again. Absolutely. Good golly. I can't believe that the next person they're about to confirm some guy for the National Institutes of Health, and he's like just as crackers as RFK is. So God bless America. God help America. Like what is happening where the conspiracy theorists are winning? Yeah, I'm so glad you're such a big group. Keep going. I think, and the more other mothers' voices you can get in, I saw a meme that said, was said a quote of someone who said, I'm because of my strong religious beliefs, I'm not vaccinating my child. And then the response is, if you really had strong religious beliefs, you wouldn't have voted for a sexual assaulter and fraudster if you had strong religious beliefs. So it's my mom had polio, Joe, and so I'm very big on vaccines. In fact, for a few years, I was on the advisory committee for the National National Vaccine Advisory Committee, which was an organization that pushed for more education about vaccines. So, and I ran an organization called Polio Canada, and we worked with, vaccines are just the start. But yeah, we have one of your biggest issues is that people avoid going to the doctor because they don't want to be bankrupt. And that should never be. Hello, Captain Hook. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome in. If you have questions, whatnot related, or you want to share your shows or ask a question about anything, yeah, definitely. Yeah, Vixen Veronica, you can certainly, I mean, the best thing to do is to learn about what the vaccines have in them, and what actually is in them, as opposed to what somebody writes in a blog, and also learn about what the consequences are of not vaccinating. For example, your daughter just researched it. Good morning. How are you doing? Hi, Lexi. I've personnel and had allergic reactions, so it's a slippery slope. Yeah, if you have allergic reaction, that's totally understandable. I have the COVID vaccine. I had a really both. I took it twice or thrice. Anyways, I had a really bad reaction each time. Like like my fibromyalgia pain was through the roof for a few days. I actually cracked a tooth. I have a tooth that's missing because I cracked it in the middle of the night from clenching. I had taken some sleeping pills so I could finally sleep, and I cracked my tooth from clenching so hard because of the pain I was in, but I had knocked myself out with sleeping pills. So I didn't know that I was doing it until I woke up in the morning and was like, yeah, it was intensely painful. And then I went in and he's like, it was a perfectly good tooth. And I cracked it right up the middle. It's back there. So I have a hole in my mouth because dental coverage isn't part of Canada's health plan right now, which sucks. I cracked it and it was so bad that he was like, it's like cracked all the way through, but it was a good tooth. Oh no. Oh no, Jojo. All your teeth fell out. Yeah. So dental coverage is one of the things that one of the parties is working towards post COVID. Yeah. I'm sure I did some damage on other teeth, but this one had to come out, and then the cost was going to be $7,000 to put one tooth in, and I was like, I think I'll just live without the tooth for now until I win the lottery or something. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to spend on a tooth that's way back there. So I'm partially toothless now. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane how much they charge. Look how pretty this is. This is going to Dream Glam. Dream Glam is getting this. Yeah, I'm going to take it apart. No, I'm not. It'll be okay. Making decisions. You have dentures now? Yeah, they were going to put in they put in a piece of, I had to pay like $200 for a piece of bone from a pig to get installed so that there would be a pole. But yeah, dentists are very expensive here. Which I think they are everywhere. But eventually I hope that they're going to have dental coverage. They do now have it for children. In Ontario, we have it for children, and we have it also for seniors. There's some dental coverage now. So it's not very much. It wasn't like for my mother. They wanted to do a bunch of work on my mother, but the cost was going to be so high that I was like, I know it's horrible to say, but if it's not causing her any pain, she's not going to be on this earth for much longer. And if it's not causing her any pain, then we just left it. So they did what they needed to do to stop any pain from happening, but I wasn't going to do all the whiz bangs on it because it's just so much money. Jojo and Sloan says, I got a skin rash with COVID that 700,000 others have that no one will even guess what it is. Oh my gosh, that is so weird. Oh, and Vixen Veronica says, you're the second person this week to mention this. I did not get a skin rash with COVID. In 3 years, I went to 4 hospitals and specialists and doctors. That is so weird. Dave from Alberta says, I like it for young people at my age. Rip them out if you need be. I mean, dental health is important as you get older. It does contribute. It can contribute to dementia if you have like infections. My mother, because of her swallowing issues, she's on a liquid. Everything she eats is turned into this liquid mush. They've experimented until they have the perfect consistency. It sounds horrible, but she's gained weight, so clearly she likes it. She's gained weight, and I expected that she was going to lose weight because she was always such a picky eater who always complained about, when we went to restaurants, she would always complain about everything in a restaurant. Everything was wrong. And so I expected that she was going to hate the food, but she's never mentioned it. Jojo says, the first one, the ER, had 3 blisters, 2 on my leg, 1 on my arm. They assumed I was doing it to myself. Oh, that's rude. That is so rude to assume that. Vixen Veronica says, I have swallowing issues due to my neck problems. New fear-in-law. Well, oh yeah, so you've got a form of, what do they call it? Dysphagia, I think. I can't remember. No, that's word finding difficulties. Anyways, the swallowing problem. Dave says, I'm the wrong person to ask. I don't give a F anymore. Yeah, I'm at that age too, where if you don't like me, I am perfectly fine with that, because I'm sure you can find yourself another friend somewhere else, and I can do the same thing. Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. I could ask Alexa, but she might not answer me because she might think I'm asking about racism. Alexa refuses to answer. So Amazon has reprogrammed Alexa so she won't answer questions about racism. See, I'm not quite sure how to help you with that. I know, Alexa, you've been programmed not to talk about racism. Why is that? She won't even answer me. It beeps. It beeps, and then she goes back to showing me pictures of my dogs. So, Jeff Bezos, I see what you're doing. I see it. I see it. I'm not ignorant of what you're doing. Oh, if anyone's wondering, I'm shipping while I talk to you. So, Jojo says, I woke up 2 days later, locked in a bed in a mental. Oh, they kept me. Jesus, Mother Mary and Joseph. That's horrible. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry that happened to you. The fourth day, oh, thank God. That's horrible. What is wrong with this world? Okay, so if you're wondering, this is one thing. It says 3 or 4 layers of tissue paper. Then I've got 3 layers of bubble wrap, followed by it is wrapped up with the moving saran. It's like saran wrap. The moving wrap. I always twist the end and put a little tape there so that you can find the end, because when I would get stuff from people and trying to find the end was more frustrating than trying to get the tape off. I don't use tape around things. If you use packing tape to make it easier for you, you're spending way too much money on packing tape. Buy this stuff. You can get like 4 rolls of it at a time. And yeah, I always worry about using a knife. So I always do this so that you know that you can just pull on this. I twist it and then I tape it so that you're able to find the spot. Or I'll put a sticker on it depending on where I'm sitting and what I've got in front of me. So there's tissue paper, bubble wrap, then it gets saran wrap so that the bubble wrap is up against and pushed in. So also the item doesn't shift. Because if it was loose, if I didn't have this tightly wrapped, it could get loose and start moving around, and that's never any good. And then after that, it's going to get packing paper around it. This particular one has glass in it, so it is going to get 2 layers of packing paper. So what I do is I wrap it. I tape my paper ends to just one side, like you're wrapping a present. So my paper ends are to one side. Then I put this down, and the paper ends down, and I wrap again. And when I wrap again, the paper ends should be, God, I'm tired. There's the paper end right there. Paper end, paper end, paper end. So then I tape it again, and then I wrap the paper onto the other side. So basically there's on both sides of this, it's got extra paper to, so basically this has got double paper and this got double paper. It labeled me so no doctor subsequent would take me seriously. And you were sent to the ER by your Lyme doctor. Oh my goodness. Lyme disease I got tested for Lyme disease, but I think I got tested too late. I'm so sorry you had that experience, Jojo. No one should have to go through that. We do have a 72-hour hold here in so if you came to an ER and you said that you were going to kill yourself, but you have to have a plan. It can't just be that you're doing self-harm. It has to be that you have a plan to end your life. And then they usually still will not admit you unless you sign a voluntary form. They can have doctors if they really think that you're going to do something, but or you have attempted, if you did make an attempt and you went to the ER, but otherwise you can declare yourself and then sign a paper. But we're a little bit more strict about that. We have a 48-hour hold here, but there's no consequences if they hold you without your, that's not okay. If it has to be pretty obvious situation where they can prove that you're definitely going to do harm to yourself if you were allowed to go out of the hospital. And they usually try their best not to admit people into the hospital because they only have so much room. We don't have a lot of room in our hospitals. So the goal of hospitals is to get you well and get you back into the community. And then in our healthcare system, so this is all covered. There's no cost to this. And then once you get back into community, you are assigned a home care coordinator. So if you do have needs, you will have a coordinator that watches you from then on. And then we have, like, for self-harm and unaliving yourself, we have crisis intervention counselors who would then go and check on you and that. Yeah, you were sleeping in your room by yourself for 4 hours and then they suddenly decided, yeah, that's not okay. That's not okay. There's got to be definitely, it sounds like, because that's at the state level, right? Those decisions are made at the state level. I think in the US, as in Canada, the states make like those kind of decisions about. I was fascinated to learn about the different, because I was learning about abortion rights in the United States, because it's different here in Canada, and it's different in each state, and then the types of care that you can get and what you're like. The rules are so different in each state. I was fascinated by that. Needs to be a federal patient's bill of law. Yes, a patient's bill of rights. Do we have a Canadian bill of rights for? I think we do. Patient's bill of rights. I'm looking at. I feel like they did one. I feel like they did. Mental Health End of Life Care Act. Yes. So there's a patient's bill of rights, which was enacted. Let's see. Yes, it was enacted in 2002. Oh, so David's, I tend to use unalive. Sometimes I use the S word, but I tend to use unalive. Just because I've worked in that community. Yeah, a lot of places do use it, and it's because the that it's actually it's part of worrying about. So unaliving yourself is suicide. So it's because a lot of organizations heard from patients, from their clients, that when they heard the word, or people heard the word, was it didn't have the same gravitas as saying that you're killing you're unaliving yourself. So I don't know, I just kind of do it because I also just don't like using the S word, and a lot of people are, and I'm sure now people are being triggered by unaliving. But yeah, I just try not to say suicide, and I've just sort of followed that for a long while, because I worked for a while with suicide prevention. So, and they were using the term, and so I just got into the practice of using the term. Good morning, Liz. How are you? Okay, next thing I have to do. It's 10:39. Let me wrap something else. These are so cute. These are so cute. Okay, there's one. Where's the other one? Where's the other one? There's the other one. So feel free to ask questions. Ask God why me and my friend. He says because he knows I won't sit down and be quiet. God is giving you a task. He only asks the strong among us to do the, yes. He or she, depending on your viewpoint, asks those who can to step forward and help on his behalf, because he cannot be everywhere, or she, or they, depending on your beliefs. I'm okay with whatever your beliefs are, and I will fight for your right to have your beliefs, even if they're like that you believe in the flying spaghetti monster. Share with the class, exactly. And when they say Jesus take the wheel, don't think that's literal. Do not just let go of the wheel. It's a great song, but don't do it. Don't do it, because he's a little busy and he doesn't have extra hands. Miracles do happen, but sometimes if you catch him when he's busy somewhere else, there's a lot of stuff going on, in this world. He can't be. He may be everywhere and anywhere, but he can't always help you. Or what is that? I remember that my dad used to say, God helps those who help themselves. But I think that we need to help. If you're religious, I believe that we're put here to help each other. We're put here to help our fellow man. We're not here to be selfish. And so if you see something that you can help with, then do. Be his arms, be his legs, be his eyes, be his ears, be his voice. Jesus taught on the Sermon on the Mount things for us to do, not things for us to wait for him to do. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm finished preaching. Whoever this whatever the skin thing is leeches the body. Oh my gosh, your teeth fell out. You broke both arms last year, and my goodness, and you have purple scars all over 1,000 have to cover. Oh my goodness. I wonder if like light therapy would help. I know. Sorry, I'm starting to like treat you. I'm doing the thing where I'm like, wonder if this will help. You probably heard 50,000 different people say the same thing. Have you tried this? Have you tried that? But I'm so sorry that happened to you, JoJo. I'm so glad you're here on Whatnot, though. I think that's awesome. Isn't Whatnot such a great place? We can learn. It's a lack of tissue with the scars. Wow. 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 Hi, Pickles. How are you? Good morning. It took all your... Oh, yeah. Yep. No, Whatnot is taking all your money? It's easy to spend money on Whatnot, isn't it? It is easy to spend money on Whatnot. It's just, hang on, I just have to get more bubble wrap. Yes. There's newspaper all over the floor because I was unwrapping and I just started flinging things everywhere. My name on here is Kitten Lady. Oh, you're Kitten Lady. Awesome. This bubble wrap isn't as good as the other bubble wrap. My husband went out and bought this bubble wrap, so I have to use like twice as much as I normally would because it's not the best bubble wrap. Good morning, darling face. Good morning. We've been talking about all kinds of stuff as usual. So feel free to ask questions or talk about things. We're here for everything. I'm here for it all. Well, I'm glad you're logged in as this. I'll take whatever. Kid Lady Rescue, right? I love that name. Whatnot? I do want to buy a Tesla. I do want to buy. I don't actually. You know what I saw? So the guys who bought the guys who founded and created Tesla, who that other Yahtzee guy, he bought Tesla from him. So those two people who he bought out, they're creating a new car, and it's from Australia, and they've got this really cool truck. I can't remember what it's called. I think I shared it on my threads or my Blue Sky. I don't think I shared it on my Instagram. Maybe I need to do there too. Anyways, it's really cool. it has a towing capacity of 6,600 pounds, which is great for us. The starting price is like 42,000 US. I built one with all kinds of new features. Yes, that's right. God's chosen one is not the inventor and brains behind it. That is correct. He's also not a rocket scientist. He's just very good at knowing where to make purchases, right? And I mean, he created PayPal, right? So that was a good idea. And he made a lot of money off of that. Um, oh no, Vixen Veronica. Yeah, I think they're taking the whole you fire you. Yes, it's actually it's very cool and it's fully electric. It also has solar panels on the back of the truck. You can put them on the tonneau cover, or you can put them on the roof of the truck, or you can add a camper top to it, so it's more like a minivan. It has the footprint of it's the same length as a Mini Cooper, so it's small but mighty. So and it has there's two different versions of it, and it's coming to North America. So I'm looking forward to it coming to Canada because my husband wants to buy a truck and I don't want him buying if he's going to waste our money on a new truck, then it should be one that's like I said, it needs to be fully electric, not hybrid, electric. We're switching all to electric. We're getting away from gas. Enough's enough. It's just going to get more expensive, right? The Ford Lightning is amazing. Ooh. See, I just don't trust Ford because they're in the States. I'd rather buy from an Australian company. Sorry. Sorry, I just don't trust. I have trust issues right now. I'm a Canadian. We all have great trust issues. This is not easy for us. Like America's been our best friend and our neighbor for so long. This is really, really hard for us. So please, I just beg you, please don't go. I know you do, and I love you. I just beg you not to go in, even if you feel this way, and fine, go ahead, feel that way. Good luck to you. But if you feel that, please don't go in and start saying stuff about a 51st state when you're in a Canadian show. Just don't. Just, as my father would say, bugger off. But not literal. I mean, unless that floats your boat. My father said all kinds of stuff that turns out was really offensive, and I didn't realize it. I had no idea. And I said it. One of them I said, and it's a very. I had no idea what it meant. He said it all the time, like it was no big deal, but it actually is is a reference, and it didn't even occur to me, and then I said it when my gay friend was in the car, and then I realized what I just said, and I was like, oh my god, I've been saying this for like 30 years because my dad said it, and I just realized what it means. I know you'll get through this. Everyone needs to speak up though. If you think remaining silent is going to work, it's not. They will just divorce the toxic partner. Yeah. Yes. Protest with your money. And so here's the thing is if you're going to spend money, when you spend it on Whatnot, this is my ad for Whatnot. When you're spending money on Whatnot, you can choose the person that you buy from, knowing that like about 85 to 90% of the money is going directly to them. The rest of the money is going to the payment processing service. And then Whatnot's only taking 8%. And Whatnot is a company that talks about, if you go to their careers site, it's all about diversity, equity, and inclusion. They don't say we have a DEI program because they don't need to have a DEI program because their whole philosophy is about diversity and equity and inclusion and creating a diverse society. Um, Darling says, I used to take pics as a kid doing a vulgar hand and mouth gesture. I learned from my mom thinking it was just a peace sign with my tongue sticking out. Oh no, darling. Yeah. I remember I was in grade 1 and I saw the older kids were doing this thing where they were going like they were doing a salute. And I didn't know what that meant. And and I thought they were the cool older kids. So when my teacher asked us to stand in line, I got to the front of the line and I saluted her, thinking I was doing something right and good and cool, and I got detention. But she never said, this is why you're getting detention. So I just realized that I should never do that again. But she never explained to me what I had just done. And it was from the head salute. It wasn't from the heart salute, but it was still from the head salute. And I had no clue what I was doing. I was in grade 1. I thought I was cool, but I did it once and that was it. Never did it again. Vixen Veronica says, I have a few things I can't get from anywhere but Amazon. It's frustrating. Yeah, like there's certain things that I have to get from Amazon because I live in a rural area and there's only so many bigger stores and selection for me. Brody for Boglim says, hi, Brody. I just got my first package from the US that I ever paid duty on, and it was close to 75% of the price I paid for the whatnot order. Oh, yeah. Welcome to Canada. Does have tariffs on some things. Yeah. Yeah. So buy Canadian. If you're a Canadian, buy Canadian because there's no tariffs on the stuff you buy from a Canadian. Jojo and Sloan says, I'm doing buyers shows like this, what to do and what not to do, because all those new buyers are getting on my nerves. Yeah. Vixen Veronica says, around 5, I tried saying something was yucky caca and called it a rooster. Caca. Grandmother grounded you. Yes. And I mean, sometimes if you say things on whatnot, you're going to get in trouble. Like Melody the other day was trying to talk about the British Broadcasting Corporation, so she put in BBC, but that means something else. So she got red chatted, and she's like, "What did I do?" And I had to like explain it on air. I'm like, big black rooster. Big black rooster. Which one is the? Oh, this is the bird. This is the birds. This is the birds salt and pepper shaker. The birds do ruin everything. Yes, I know, but you know what? That's the cool beauty of the English language, right? We have adapted the English language, and we've what is it now? How long have we been doing English? For at least 1,000 years. Yes, our mind does always go into the gutter. There is like vulgarity in every language has some vulgarity to it. And so it's the interesting development of vulgarity, but also now with culture the way it is, how one particular subgroup, a marginalized group, will start using a phrase and it will eventually make its way through to all of a group of like all of one generation will start saying a phrase that was actually from like most usually from the marginalized poor black community in America. They start saying a phrase in their community and then it gets co-opted by everybody else. We steal it. I think should we call that cultural appropriation? I don't know. But I find language fascinating. I find the acquisition of language to be fascinating. How children learn language and what sounds they're able to say first. And that's the reason why children are able to say mama more than they can say da, because that da takes more tongue work than mama. So that's why don't ever feel like, haha, my baby said mama first before daddy. Well, guess what? The development of the mouth muscles and the ability to say da is it takes longer. So yeah, both of your kids said da first. Seriously, darling face. Okay, well maybe they're more, your children are more advanced, and that's why. Jojo and Sloan says my granddaughter is 1 and does sign language. That is so cool. Vixen Veronica says, yeah, difference between cultural appropriation is appreciation versus stealing something. Yeah, I know. It's so tough, right? Like there's oftentimes in the thrift store, there are really cool dresses that I want to buy, but then I feel like if I wear this, is it cultural appropriation or not? So I sometimes hesitate because I worked a lot in different cultures. So I mean, I used to go when has anyone worn a salwar kameez? It's an Indian Pakistani. It's like sort of like a long shirt slash dress, and then you have these really great pajama pants underneath. It is so comfortable. Your daughter said puppy first. That's hard. Papa, papa, as opposed to, well, I mean, papa is easier to say. Papa and mama is easier to say. So maybe it was a papa, papa. Interesting. That's fascinating. That means your child is smart. My daughter, I don't think my daughter said either of our names first. I can't even remember what her first word was. How horrible am I as a mother? Um, it was probably something like, she probably said some scientific thing or something. She's so smart. No, yeah, no. Um, yeah, I can't even remember. Dog was her favorite word to say. She loves dogs still. She said da first, then papa. Oh, so cute. I used to Salmar kameezes are like so super comfortable to wear. And but the thing is I would wear them whenever I was traveling on an airplane, like long flights, because like ladies, you kind of bloat up on an airplane. And they're so pretty. They got embroidery on them and they're really comfortable. And you can get them with short sleeves, or if you get the ones that are for Muslim women, they have really long sleeves and they go up the neck and they're super comfortable. It's like wearing pajamas all day. I don't understand why we don't do this. I think ladies that we should all start wearing salwar kameez, because it is like what the waistband is like a tie. You can get it with the elastic, but they also have just a tie. So you can like during the day, if you start to feel a little bloaty, you don't need to worry about feeling like your pants are cutting off your circulation to your legs. It is awesome. But every time I went through the airport, the security guys tend to be Indian or Pakistani when you're going through security, at least back then. That was 20 years ago. So it's more, but anyways, they would always be like, oh, did you go to Pakistan? When did you get this? Oh, and I'd just be like, I bought this because it's comfortable. Kimono, fine to wear, but don't try to copyright the word like you invented it. Yeah. But I think we should all just wear really comfortable outfits. Closest we have is linen outfits. It does no linen. The thing with linen is, you get all those creases. Literally, what did Kim Kardashian try to? Oh, Kim. Oh no, I get it. Yeah, I see where she was trying to go with that. Yes, the wrinkles drive me nuts in linen. Um, when I was like what 16, a woman that I was working with when I was writing for a student newspaper, I got a summer job writing for a student newspaper, and she taught me to go up to the clothes and like pinch them and then try and make a crease and see if the crease sticks. And if the crease sticks, don't buy that. That's what she used to say. Because I wore a lot of stuff that was very creased, and she was like trying to teach me not to do that anymore. Um, yeah, buy this outfit from the culture, and then they can give you better tips on wearing and carry it forward too. Yeah, I got from auction. I got a amazing. It was definitely for someone's wedding, very high end wedding. It was this absolutely stunning, gorgeous sari, and it was embroidered and blinged and crystals and everything all over it. It had so many crystals, like even on the pants, or sorry, on the bottom of on the whole thing, that I actually cut the top of my feet with the crystals because they were rubbing up against my feet. Like by the end of the night, I was in a lot of pain. Happy Thursday to you as well, Matthew. But it was absolutely stunning. But I had to get the ladies to come and like do like I basically I put it on a little bit, and then I ran over to the women they had come to help me out. They were doing they did they did Mendy art, henna art, for people. It was for a fundraiser. So then I went up and I'm like, help. And so they pinned me up and made me look all pretty. So I wasn't flashing too much either. I was worried about that as well. But it was really pretty, but I cannot fit into that now. So my daughter gave it to one of her friends who goes to a lot of weddings, so she can look super fancy at her. She's Indian, so but it was amazing. It probably cost over $1,000. get it made because it was probably custom made, but it got lost in freight. So I got it at auction for $2. Vixen Veronica says, I have a coworker who's Muslim and she's the most fashionable woman I've ever met. Yes. I used to do a lot of outreach and go to a lot of Muslim events, Eid and Ramadan, and iftar dinners, and then also just go and meet with the leaders and talk about things. And near Dearborn, I don't know about. I know Dearborn, Michigan, because my parents went there all the time for the Model A Ford Festival. Because we had a Model A Ford, so when I was a kid, we went there every year for the festival. And there's a really nice. Is there still that cute little? Is that there was in the Ford whatever, there was this really cute merry-go-round that I used to go on every single time. I loved that merry-go-round so much. It was like the highlight of my trip was the merry-go-round. Yeah. So there's pictures of me in Dearborn because we went there all the freaking time. Because we would drive on the highway, and if anyone knows a Model A Ford, there's different types of Model A Fords. Ours was one that had 2 seats in the front, and then there was a hump in the back, and outside there was another 2 seats in what was called the rumble seat, and they would be inside, I would be outside in the rumble seat. But what they would do to be safe, because there's no seatbelts or anything and we're on the highway, is they would just shut me in, and I have a little flashlight, and I would play with my little dolls, and I would have my books, and I would read inside because I was small. If I didn't, yeah, you would definitely have your ability to say that you're from Michigan if you don't know about a Model A Ford. It's kind of, you can't avoid it, really. You think about it. All right, Dave from Alberta. Let's wrap this up. Your mom's hometown. What a small world. Isn't it cool how small a world it is? All right. I'm wrapping up a box. Need to make sure that there's enough of that. Oh dear. This product contains chemicals known to the state of California to cause cancer, birth defects, and other reproductive harms. Oh dear. All right. Oh, hang on. Oh, I got shiny side up for some reason. What can be done about sellers who absolutely refuse to do their shipping correctly? Jojo, the best thing is to report it. And if you receive something from me and it's broken, I want to know about it. I want to make it right. But report. If they're using, and now how much Whatnot's going to do about it is another question. But the thing is that if nobody reports, if everybody stays silent, Whatnot can't do anything about that. They're reactionary, not they're reactive. So they react to complaints versus being proactive, because it's not that type of setup where they can, find out about things ahead of time. They have to know when something happens, and then they can react to it. So please let Whatnot know when you encounter that sort of thing. Like if they're misusing priority boxes, or using bubble mailers, or if you get a package and it has postage due because they didn't do it right, then I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this setting everything at £1 and saying it'll bundle when you buy your 5th item, assuming that you're going to buy that many. Yeah. Oh, so like some sellers do have like a set, like Green 13. They have a set weight for everything, and it's basically, they've done the calculations of what the average is, and so when they're doing like estate sales and that's what they do. I personally don't do that, just because I don't want to have to pay extra. They're willing to pay extra when they're off, And I know once I bought something from them, and it probably cost them a fortune, because I bought an entire encyclopedia from. I don't know why he sold it. I really don't know why Jeremy sold it, but I bid on it, and so I only paid for 15 ounces, and it was definitely more like 20 pounds. So they probably paid a fortune in overage charges. But so I apologize, Jeremy. I don't know why you don't hate me. But hey, so yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't even know why I purchased it, to be honest. I don't know why I did it. But I just wanted more ephemera stuff. It was cool. It was going to be cool ephemera. For the ephemera that, yeah. The cheap shipping, well, it wasn't really cheap, because shipping has never been super cheap to Canada. But yeah. All right. I'm almost done this cigar box. So the best thing that you can do is let Whatnot know, because they don't know unless you tell them what's going on, and then they can always give a warning. The other thing is too, when you leave a review, you can do 5 stars or 4 stars or 3 stars, but you can drop down and say, the product was great, but the shipping was 1, right? So you can do 5 with the shipping. You can do 1, and then you can say in your review, your honest opinion. And yeah, sometimes big sellers are going to try and get your honest opinion removed and say it's not fair, but take pictures too. Take lots of pictures too. Vix and Veronica, do you want to, yes, you want to talk about, yes. Do you want to talk about surprise sets? What would you like to know about surprise sets? Surprise! There are no longer any mysteries. They're not mysteries wrapped in an enigma. They are surprise sets wrapped in an enigma. And as long as until people figure out some workaround, and then Whatnot has to change it again because nefarious people are taking advantage of loopholes, surprise sets are here to stay. Another thing is these back-to-back giveaways, and no one knows what they're winning or if there's anything that, oh gosh, those shows, there are so that you know what, if they don't say what, take a clip. Yeah, you have to. I mean, I have to admit, I have done giveaways where I got a big raid and I didn't know what I was going to give away, so I just said, whoever wins this giveaway I'm going to go shopping and I'm going to buy something at the handmade store that's made in Canada, and I'm going to spend $10 to $20 on it Canadian, and that's what you're going to get, is something that is I'm going to look at your profile if I don't know you, and I'm going to try and pick something that fits with who you are. So I thought that was updated in the policy. So the policy states, so for giveaways, the policy clearly states you have to say what the item is, and you don't have to say value. You just have to say, this is what you're going to win. You can't just say, you have to say what you're going to win. So you can say, I'm going to throw in a bunch of stickers, pretty stickers or something, or I'm going to give you a Pokemon card, but you have to say what it is that you're going to win. It's actually, pop sockets. Pop sockets fit in an envelope. They're small enough, really? Because you can't have a bump, so you'd have to add some paper to either side so that it, Dave from Alberta says, one of my favorite sellers gives away nearly worthless items. The gift is the free shipping. Yeah. So, I mean, that's what a lot of people do, is like, you're going to win, you're going to break your shipping. But if they give away stickers, if you're a US seller and you give away stickers or that, you're not really breaking people's shipping because you only paid 93 cents or something, right? So that's not going to break their shipping. So it has to be something that's like a Canadian show would definitely break their shipping, even if you gave away stickers. So it is 73 cents. I thought it went up. Anyways, Dave, that's one of yours that just got wrapped. Dave. It's easy to know the cigar boxes are going to Dave. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that the reason why I don't do a lot of giveaways is because of the cost of giveaways a while ago, like not so long ago, was going to be like anywhere from $10 to $12 US just to give away something small. So, or people, pop sockets and And enamel pins are not going to be able to go through because it also has to have no bumps. Has to no bumps or lumps. So if you're going to put like a pop socket in, you have to make sure that you fill the rest of the envelope so it's all the same so it can go through. So Vix and Veronica, there are people who, and I've seen shows where people say, after you win the giveaway, send me a message, DM me with your email address so I can send you the code for your gift card. And I will send you in the mail some stickers and a thank you note. So that's what that is okay. As long as you say, this is what I'm going to ship you and this is how you're going to get your digital gift card. And it can't be rigid too. Thank you, D. So like there's no way of sending something lumpy by PWE, but I'm sure people try. People try everything. They'll try to literally push the envelope as far as they can. People really don't change their modus operandi. Yeah, limits on length. Yes, hi Blue Golf. Yeah, there's limits on length and thickness. So if you go to help.whatnot.com, if you're a US seller and you want to use PWE, make sure that you read it's called first class mail. So look that up on help.whatnot.com. And I have all the links to all the different sites that Whatnot has that are helpful. That's how it came to you? Goodness gracious. So yeah, so surprise sets. Back to surprise sets. So the key thing with surprise sets is you're going to make one listing that is going to be like, this is going to be a Canadian pottery. So I'm probably, when I get, because I'm about to pick up like 2,000 pieces of Blue Mountain pottery, I'm probably going to do a surprise set of Blue Mountain pottery. They're all going to have to be the same weight category. So I will be careful about that. And then I'll do surprise sets of Blue Mountain pottery, probably do shows where that's what I'm doing. And what I'm going to have to do is list each one of the pieces. So I'm going to say Blue Mountain pottery surprise set. And then number one is a 1950s traditional green vase, 10 inches tall. A rare Georgian Bay glaze bowl, 6 inches in diameter, etc., etc. And you can list up to 100 items. You can do up to 100 items in one surprise set, but they have to be a similar thing. So Blue Mountain pottery or Canadian pottery, it all have to be a certain thing. No problem. So it's very, you do not have to write, there's nowhere now to put what the value is. Don't put the value. Don't put this is worth X dollars. Because what happens is that there were nefarious creatures who were putting, Blue Mountain pottery mini vase, $200. Well, that's just complete BS. It's not $200. And comps and all that are just, they're so variable that instead Whatnot is saying, put what it is. Your viewers are going to know what they feel is valuable, because you could have something like, I have some stuff that's Blue Mountain pottery that is highly valuable, but it might not be your taste. It might not be something you like. Jojo and Sloan says, I've had 3 boxes lost in transit and it's suspicious. I'm really worried because I have a Chit Chats package that got lost in transit. And it's one of my favorite customers. And I have a lot of favorite customers. You're all my favorite customers, but one of my frequent favorite customers. And it got lost. And it's literally since February 26th, it's nowhere to be found. Some are torn oddly. Yeah, that sounds like it might be your postal, wherever your postal district. I would worry about that. I know that one particular person that I used to send to, her packages always had some sort of damage on them. Whereas somebody else that I would send would not have. And I feel like it wasn't me. It's because I would send packages, but every time something would come to her, there'd be some sort of damage on the box, which seems like, Vixen Veronica says, as a buyer, I'd like to know the value. It's so much research other ways. Is there a way around that? Can you say no? You can't. You can no longer say the ceiling, like the highest value and all that. No, just because of nefarious creatures who have BS'd that and made it seem. And you go into some like coin shows and that, and if you don't know coins, and the guy screaming at the thing says, "Yeah, bad apples always ruin everything." You see coin sellers who are screaming at the chat like, "This is worth $300 easy every day. Go check. Come on, you're stealing from me." But then you'll have other people who say, "You know what? That's not worth $300." But you're not allowed to go onto somebody's show and like say that's not worth very much money. Like that's against terms of service. You can't do that. You can't bid shame. You can't price shame. You can't bid shame. You're not allowed to do that. So it's like you just have to. It's just I just leave the shows. I just leave the shows. Like if you're going to be like that, and if it's really bad, I block so that I never have to see that person, and that person never comes into my shows. I've had 5 say no receptacle for package. I would definitely call. There's like a district that oversees your area. I would find out where who the boss is of your local post office so that you can call them and talk to, like, you can fill in forms and make a complaint that you want to escalate it, you want to talk about it. Because I know the Gumby man was having problems with pickups at his house, and it was getting really bad, and he managed to talk to a supervisor and it got fixed. They put someone else on that route. Yes. I mean, yeah, someone could say, I mean, I guess you could say that this is like this one, this is my favorite, or this has the most value. Like, I guess you could say that. I would just be careful because, again, it's because bad apples have really screwed it up. The more we complain, oh, I'm so sorry. I would definitely escalate it to a higher level. Just go above their heads because they're not going to listen to you. Good morning, Retrocity. How are you? I'm just finishing my wrapping. I'm yo wrapping. I'm currently doing Dave from Alberta's package. Dave from Alberta's package are being wrapped now. These very cool boxes. Well, I'm so glad I found them. They were in that room, probably been sitting there for like 3 years waiting for someone. You're finishing your second cup. I only had half a cup of coffee this morning, and then I got busy doing shipping, and it got too cold, and it doesn't taste right when it's cold, this particular brand. Oh no! I'm so sorry, Jojo. Gosh. Golly gosh. You do not have good luck with things. I'm so sorry. Life is testing you, Jojo, from the sounds of it. And I'm so sorry that that's happening. All right. So, yeah, if you see that there's abuse of shipping, you can always report it. Now, I mean, some people say don't report it, just leave it. But if it's affected you, say something. I know there are big sellers on Whatnot who have in the past used bubble mailers that like, and they're not reusing them. They're not obvious. They're like brand new free bubble mailers from USPS. Not only is it, it's federal law, so you're going to get a fine. If you get anything, you're going to get a fine. So that's why people aren't worried. But what happens is eventually, like in Canada, we don't have free stuff. We don't have free boxes. We don't have free bubble mailers. We don't have any of that stuff. Maybe when they reorganize Canada Post, they might give us that stuff, but I doubt it because of the abuse that they see happening at USPS. And eventually, especially with all the cutbacks in the United States, everything services, don't be surprised if your boxes disappear. Don't be surprised if that happens this year, that they suddenly stop offering free boxes. So my recommendation is you start learning how to get boxes elsewhere. Start finding places where you can get boxes that you can recycle. Any store that does a lot of frozen foods is really great. Oh yeah, where's the cheapest place to get packing materials, everybody? I know, like, one of the things you can do if you live near like apartment buildings, especially condos where people often are moving in and out. Dollar Tree is a great place. You can often just put a notification on, like, see if you can put a notification in like a condo building's board and say like, if you I'm looking for boxes. If you have boxes, please call me if you're moving out. Because let the there's usually a manager in each one of those locations. Somebody who's like the kind of like the janitor slash manager. Ask them if they can help you out by, even if you just had one building that you got boxes from, you'll get a ton. Because if they do recycling, you're going to get a ton. People sell their reused boxes. Oh my gosh. I mean, I guess they're so expensive. Those moving boxes are getting so expensive, right? Dollar Tree fills their trash with awesome boxes. Yeah, so you can just, a lot of stores, you can just go and ask, and they'll be like, "Yeah, please, like, get rid of it. It's clogging up our back." Just find out where. Like, I go to my hardware store. Friday is when they get their deliveries, so Friday is when I go in. If I need boxes, I go there on Friday afternoon and pick up their boxes. They also give me a ton of their bubble wrap. Retrocity says there are lots of bubble wrap sellers on Facebook Marketplace. I just picked up 12-inch by 300 for $30. Shut the front door. That's a great price. My husband went and picked me up, and it's really crappy. The Staples bubble wrap is not great. I'm not happy with it. I usually buy from Amazon, but I'm going to be buying from U-Haul. U-Haul has really great bubble wrap, and you can get it delivered to the local U-Haul location for free. When you worked in retail, we crushed our boxes. Yeah, so they flatten them, and then they usually put them where they're going to get baled. But you can actually go and if you know the day when they usually have their most boxes come in, then you can just ask for them. Dollarama for us, Dollar Tree as well. They always have tons of boxes. And any grocery store that does a lot of frozen foods, those boxes are the best for shipping your delicate stuff, because they're like quadruple layers as opposed to double layer. And Vix and Veronica, don't worry. I have bought off of Temu. I've bought my small boxes. I bought off of Temu. And then if you have a Cricut, and you encounter, like, when you get a box, Drez, oh my gosh, welcome in, everyone. Thank you so much for the raid. Hi, everyone. Welcome in. We are talking about, right now we're talking about where to get boxes for free. So and shipping supplies for free or cheap. So welcome. Thank you so much for the raid. Everyone, please follow Draz. You are awesome. Thank you so much. How was your show? Isn't Draz amazing? She is so amazing. I love her so much. She is so knowledgeable. I love you. Thank you. So welcome in, everybody. Welcome to Canada. You don't need a passport. Everything's safe. And right now we're talking about where you get free packing, shipping materials, boxes, that sort of thing. Darling Face Design says, any marketplace you shop online, just check the seller and you can still support good small businesses. Yeah, absolutely. It was an amazing show, says Christine. Oh, that's awesome. Vixen Veronica says, I do have a silhouette. Curious where you were going with the Cricut. Okay, so yeah. So if you have like big, when you get big pieces of like big boxes, there's no way you can use them for anything, and they're not too thick. If you have like a Cricut or any sort of programmable, like I have a Brother Scan and Cut, I've made boxes. I went to Creative Fabrica. I have an account there. But you can find online, you can find them for free. Or like for me, I just scanned one of the boxes that I wanted to copy. And then you can make yourself little boxes that you can ship with. Now it takes, for mine, so Retrocity, with the one that the Brother Scan and Cut, it just keeps doing deeper and deeper cuts. It just starts. So if I have it, like if it's a double wall, it takes about 5 times. And the perforated cuts, I took away the perforated cuts that it was making for the folds. I took those off. I deleted those from the from the template, because it was doing it too much, and it was actually causing the pieces of the boxes to fall apart. So I just score afterwards. I score it myself. But yeah, I made little boxes that way out of big boxes. So my husband's like, he just kind of rolls his eyes, because if there's a box in this house, if it comes in, yeah, absolutely. Let me see. Where's my, I have to make a note. Note to self. I gotta find a piece of paper that I don't like. Okay. So post the box template for cutting. Yeah. I will find it and I will post it. It's actually saved into my brother's scan and cut, so I'll have to dig in and find the original file. But yeah. Yeah, Draz says brilliant. Every box repurposed in my house. Yeah. It's, oh, thank you, Sid. Thank you so much, Sid Sydney. What a cute name. I love it. They'll sell by large bundles to a truckload. Sorry, I missed who. Sorry. You have a resource for sourcing that sells large bundles to a truckload. Oh, for like pallets and that. Pallets are a lot of fun. I miss doing pallets, but I have so much crap in my house. Wonderful things in my house I need to sell. I need to get I would love to go to do pallets. What I really want to do is go back to doing estate sale auctions and that. So Vix and Veronica, my house is an episode of Hoarders. I'm sitting in my living room. Do you want to see how bad it is? This is gonna go on YouTube. This is so embarrassing, but I'll show you. Show you. They'll even do it by size. That's awesome. G Trend, good morning, Gigi. How are you? Okay, yeah. So you want to see how bad it is? Hang on. I have to put the chat down for a second. Good morning. Good morning. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Okay, hang on. Face cam. There we go. And then we're going to switch. Okay, so this is what's staring in front of me. See that room? That room there? That room's full of crap. That room's full of stuff. Totally disorganized. Everything's thrown all over the place. How do you find legit pallet places to buy from if you're in Ohio? I would just check on Better Business. If you guys have Better Business Bureau, right? I would check to see what kind of comments they've had. So like I've got these shelves that are full of things. You have a similar room. This is my living room. Okay. So that's my personal stuff there, except for that's for sale and that's for sale. And then I took over this to display things. And then oh, there's a box in the way. Hang on. There's more over here. Half of that is for sale. And then look, this is my like work area, because I just start throwing things all over the place and boxes everywhere. And then wait, it's worse over here. And then yeah, so this has just kind of gotten piled up because I get rushed and I'm like, I need to do a show. I can't do anything. And then there's like little things here. So this is one of my living rooms. I have one downstairs that my husband's allowed to be in. And then that's my great grandmother's, and it has shelves, but I haven't put them in. I haven't tied to. But of course, that's because I put a whole bunch of things in there and now they're in the way. So I can't. There's this is really cool. It's programmable. So it's like a little robot. Anyways, there you go. There's my disaster. That's just this room. It's bad. B. Haynes says, my husband would kill me. He's so worried I'm going to collect too much. Your husband would have a conniption fit. My husband has just decided to live with, he's accepted it. Thankfully, my husband is a recovered alcoholic. So the serenity prayer helps him out a lot. He mumbles it a lot. God grant me the serenity to accept the boxes I cannot move, to move the boxes I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Your husband yells every time. Your house the same. My husband is is he? So my husband is 16 years now, because we've been together 14, so 16 years sober, and I haven't had a drink for 14 years, because when I first started dating him I thought I shouldn't. It feels, yeah, like that's just like, it's just a disaster. It is a disaster. It's embarrassingly a disaster, and I need to work on it. But every time I'm like, I need to work on this. Yeah, I know I need storage totes too, but all the storage totes I had, my husband co-opted because he moved out of his house into this house, and he put everything in storage totes, and now underneath our sunroom is full of storage totes of all the things from his house that we haven't had a chance to go through. We don't really need anything from there. Vixen Veronica says, I clean up and buy 10 new things. And Jojo says, oh, his husband, I said, look at me. I have a reborn baby doll next to me. I obviously didn't know what I was buying. Reborn baby dolls are so awesome. My mother had one and it really calmed her down. And then she called it Kimberly. And the funny thing is, when she got to she loved holding it and it calmed her down when she was living here with me. And then when we had to take her to the long-term care facility, and she was holding it for a while until she calmed down and she was liking it some more, and she went and started trying to get other people. She would go up to people. She'd wheel up in her wheelchair and she'd go, "You look nice. Here, look after my baby." She kept handing me off, and she said it was Kimberly, which is me. So she kept handing me off to like strangers that she just thought, you look nice. You can look after my baby." She would literally say that to them. It was quite funny. I have no idea where the baby is now. I've been probably adopted by some other person, and because I haven't seen it for a few months now. It's disappeared. The baby's disappeared, but it did keep her calm at the beginning. She also has a doggy, a little one of those dementia doggies that's got like fidget stuff on it. She just puts that up on her bed. Um, Thrifty Gypsy. I stopped drinking when I got with him, but I didn't drink much anymore with my migraines. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I don't have as many migraines, I guess. I don't know. I think I treated my migraines with it. So it probably didn't help. Crystal, 22 years sober. Awesome. Congratulations. I will let my husband know that there are congratulations coming to him. What I need to do is get him to start going to meetings again, because he's less of a grump when he goes to his meetings. And he hasn't been to meetings since the pandemic started. He just kind of got out of it, and he's too tired when he comes home. And I admit, he starts his day at 4:20 a.m. I don't know why he picks 4:20. He's not a puffer. So 4:20 is when he wakes up, and he's home usually around 6:20. And it's hard work. He's a utility worker, and he's 60 years old. So he doesn't have the energy to go to a meeting after that. So, unfortunately, and on the weekends we're just too busy. C Dunlop, I've got 17 years being clean and sober. Congratulations. That is awesome. Lily Lane Vintage Co. Hi, how are you? It's so embarrassing when I have to have a technician or repairman come to my house, and it takes forever to clean for my family for holidays. I know. Yeah, I had someone come to give me a quote on the furnace, and I could just see there was nowhere that, like, my kitchen table is currently covered with stuff, and there was nowhere for him, so I just like pushed some stuff aside and said, "Here." And I said, "I could give you a chair if you want, but it's beyond bad." Sweet Rosebud, I'm in Ontario, Canada. So if you look at the map and you go to New York State, and there's that big lake at the top of New York State, if you go up from there in the middle, and you'll hit me basically. I'm at the east end of the big lake that's above the ginormous Lake Ontario. Vixen Veronica says, I don't drink because even one makes you sick, but sobriety's, yeah, it's still sobriety. Virtual meetings. Captain Hook, he hated them. He hated the virtual meetings because it's like he's trapped listening to people he doesn't want to listen to. I don't know, because they were too much like chitter chatter. So he got turned off because they did virtual meetings for their, the group, I can't remember what they call it, but when the group gets together, make decisions, those meetings are just a poop show usually. So he got totally turned off those meetings. And he used to run a 12-step group. It was a men's 12-step group. He used to run that. So I hope he gets back to that when life is a little less hectic. Peacock, good morning, Peacocks. I don't want to work, pay bills, run errands, clean, and cook. Crystal, have him look online. I believe they have some. Yeah, he hates them. He really does hate them. He's tried. So, but I know what? It's okay. He's still sober, so it's all good. Pest control is coming tomorrow. You're gonna get shamed. Oh dear. Yeah. Gosh. I'm I'm sure you are. Jojo and Sloan says there's so much stuff next to my bed that I've been going through that I can't even find my medication. No, go find your medication. You definitely need your medication. We do need a vacation. You are right, Peacock. Yes, sellers can join my train. Absolutely. I have 3 trains. $5 on the 5th. Everything in your auction starts at $5. Your prices in your buy it now can be whatever you want. It's 30-minute shows, so they're short, sweet shows. So usually it's go faster. So usually I recommend that for more experienced sellers. Then I have a on the 10th, I have a Canadian train that's for Canadian sellers only. The other ones are international, called True North Strong. And then on the 25th of each month, I have Thrift to Gift, and that's for all sellers and all categories. And it's just that the things that you sell are thrifted, handmade from wholesale pallets, um, vintage, antique, secondhand, pre-loved. It's stuff that's you're saving from the landfill that you're now reselling that could be gifted. So it's to try and change people's minds about when they think about buying a gift, think about thrifting to gift instead. And Whatnot's the best place to do that, to find really cool items. And I think it makes a difference, right? When you buy something that's on Whatnot for somebody for their birthday or Mother's Day or Easter or bar mitzvah or whatever, there's something really special about it. So yeah, just direct message me, and Mrs. Ty Lyons, just message me, send me a direct message on Whatnot, and I will send you the link. D Archivist says I had a lot of stuff in the house for reselling. Most is in my shed now. It was a lot of work. Yeah, I sourced part of my like therapy when my mom was with me, and it was very stressful. I sourced a lot. Draz, congratulations, you have unlocked egg. You've suffered through 3 of my shows. Thank you so much for coming to 3 of my shows at minimum and suffering through them. You now have a bunch of coupons. Congratulations. Peacock Jewelry says I need pest control for the noisy rooster next door. Yeah, I apologize for my cousin. He is a bit loud. I'm sorry, Peacock, but yeah, Peacock has one of Peacock's neighbors is one of my rooster cousins, one of my foul cousins, and he doesn't shut up. He really doesn't shut up. And I'm sorry. I guess Peacock, you could buy your own rooster and they could drown each other out. Maybe, I don't know. Or just wear a headset all the time. Sammy Waz says, I have one of those next door. It needs to die. Again, I apologize for my feathered cousins. She's shed. I need a shed. I have one, but it's full and too far from my house. I want one close. Peacock says, Kim, I did the same thing. I bought for resale when my mom wasn't doing well and after she's gone. Yeah. I bought and bought and bought. And I kept telling my husband, like, when I can't go out anymore, because mom is that bad, then at least I'll be able to do this to make some money. But times are tough right now. So if you're a seller and you're noticing that it's harder to sell here on Whatnot, it's not the app, it's the economy. The economy is going downhill. And so people are being more cautious with their money. So my recommendation is to keep with it. You might want to just change if you want to. You don't have to. If you want to, a suggestion is to change things up, be more entertaining, be more educational, like teach about the item you're selling, not just say, here's this, Nippon vase. Tell people what Nippon means, give them some more background on it, explain a little bit more about how it was painted in that. The more educated a buyer is about an object, the more they're going to fall in love with it and want to spend the money, and they're going to be spending their money more wisely. So they're going to have to think first about, like, do I pay my electricity bill because it's going up, or how do I pay my gas bill, or I can't even afford eggs right now, right? Joe and Sloan says, I have 2 houses full from sourcing and numerous sheds. I think we just keep adding sheds. Yeah, my husband said I wasn't allowed to add another trailer because I wanted to buy another trailer and then fill it up, but I'm about to go next week. I won't be doing as many morning shows because next week I'm going to be in an hour away at a house of a collector who's also trying to resell on and it's all Blue Mountain pottery and Canadian pottery and rare glazes and lots. There's over 2,000 pieces that are out, and then there's 17 big heavy totes full of stuff. So yeah, where I'm going to be doing a lot of Blue Mountain pottery and Canadian pottery wheels. I think I'm going to be doing a lot of shows where it's like, you get to win a piece of Blue Mountain pottery. Come and join me. Yeah. And that's not coming to this house. I'm going to be renting a storage unit somewhere close to do it. Cause there's just no way. There's just no way. But it was an opportunity I couldn't pass up. I do have a passion for it. Good morning, Hand Stitch. So I really love Blue Mountain pottery. I love talking about it. I love teaching about it. And I love, there's a lot of Canadian pottery that I've learned so much about them. The different designs and the different glazes and the different makers, so that I have a large collection. And I thought I should buy this because it was just, the amount I'm paying, I will spend is a significant amount of money, but if I can sell at least half of it, I will get my money. I will at least break even. So that's the important thing. Jojo and Sloan says 5 years ago, my granddaughter and I were happy with our 15-foot RV. Times change, right? Sweet Rosebud says, have you seen the Whatnot commercials? No, there's Whatnot commercials. I'm going to look this up. Whatnot commercial. Was it like on TV, or I'm curious now, on those free gaming apps? No, I haven't. Let's see. Whatnot commercial. How do I Google? You are Whatnot auction ads or something else. Oh, someone says something about it. I have not, because I don't play those games, so I haven't seen it, but it sounds interesting. I'm trying to find one, but no, I didn't want notifications. That's not what I asked for. I can't find it. It won't let me. It won't show it to me. It's Google. It refuses to be nice to me today. Dee says that her she shed is pretty organized. It's 60 feet away from the house. You have 2, and 1 is full of boxes. So yeah, tell us more about it, Sweet Rosebud. What, like, is it like really like flashy, or is it kind of like their Instagram, their Whatnot Instagram is kind of, let me see if I can find one of them. Like,
what has really changed my life is by providing me with just the biggest way that Whatnot has really changed my life is by providing me with just countless opportunity. Whatnot has been a light in all of our darkest days.
I love you.
And I'm thankful for that. Huge thank you for making this unrealistic goal of mine a reality, where I can now say I am a full-time Whatnot seller. The biggest way that Whatnot has really changed my life is by... Oh my goodness gracious alive! Woo! Woo! Oh my goodness gracious alive! Woo! Live, more coins won that giveaway. 1,000 packs. We got 800 available. 200 have already sold. 300 have sold. 500 have sold. 600 have sold. 700 have sold. 800 have sold. 900 have sold. And they all sold. Wow. 1,000 packs. Packs are live. More coins won that giveaway. 1,000.
This is, oh my gosh, I had a raid.
Yeah, that's using flash sales, y'all. That's why they created flash sales, for big sellers like that who've got like coins or packs or whatever, where it's just like flash sales, sell it out. It's awesome. But I'm sure that's not the ad we're talking about. But if you do go to Whatnot's Instagram, which is just called Whatnot, they have some pretty fun videos that they create, including one with me, 2 with me actually. Where's the one of them? Um,
We're over 1,000 already. That's the most amazing thing I've ever heard. Let's go. We got a raise. Thank you very much. Unreal. I've never been on any kind of selling app like this. Oh my God! Thank you so much. Keep that one up. Come on!
That's so cool. I love Whatnot. I think I'm starting to bleed yellow and black, everybody. I think I'm starting to bleed yellow. I do love Whatnot, but yeah. Whatnot has really cool stuff just on their Instagram. You can go through their Instagram. There's not a ton. They don't do a ton, but they also will. So if you're on Instagram, if you're a seller on Instagram, tag Whatnot when you do a reel that's about Whatnot. Tag them. Tag at Whatnot and use like the hash. They have a bunch of cool hashtags that they use. Let's see their latest.
I just traveled 3,000 miles.
Okay, let's see what. Oh no, they didn't have any there. No, they don't use a lot of hashtags. They take it back. They don't actually use a lot of hashtags. Unless they're doing like their fashion. When they do fashion, whoever does the fashion ones for them, yeah, they do get a lot of organic views just because they're Whatnot. So they're Hue. But what they do is, let me show you. Boop. So if you go to, like, if I go to my stories, hang on.
It's finally happening.
Yeah. Okay. If you go to your stories.
It's finally happening. Whatnot is launching in Australia. And you can now buy from your favourite sellers, Trident Collectibles. That's right. So join us March 13th through 15th for the first Aussie on-app event with exclusive flash sales and gibbies.
You peaked.
No, it's because it's horizontal, that's why. I'm Ethan from Animatasia.
And I'm Yuvia from Evasive Studio.
And this is Funko Face Off.
So, yeah. So if you tag them.
I'm a pragmatist.
Okay. All right. Uh-oh.
So
this hour 22 minutes is already doing something to poor Mark Carney. Anyways, how do you use your revenue of your own purchases? So far I have to pay out to my bank first. So if I sell, yes, you have to pay out to your bank. You cannot use your ledger to purchase on Whatnot. So if you're a seller and you sell like $100 and stuff and you get your payout, you can send it to, I think right now in Canada, we have Stripe is our only option for new sellers. So you set up Stripe and then you set it up to attach to whatever bank account you want, and it will pay out to your bank. And then you can, from your bank, you could pay off your credit card from your bank, or you could, whatever you're using. Vixen Veronica says, same in the US, I couldn't link my PayPal. Okay, so yeah, so they're getting away from PayPal. They're sticking with Stripe. PayPal has a few issues on both Whatnots and sometimes having problems. So Stripe is more economical. If you're a Canadian seller, Stripe charges less for the conversion rate than PayPal does, because they're going to convert the US dollars, because you get paid in US dollars, whether you're in US or Canada. So you get paid in US dollars, and that's going to pay out to Stripe in US dollars. And then if Stripe is depositing it into a Canadian dollar bank account, they're going to convert it to Canadian dollars before they put it in your bank account. So there is a small conversion charge, it's better with Stripe, from what I'm told. Now, some people will say the opposite, but what I have learned is that Stripe is cheaper than PayPal. I'm an older seller. I've been on for 2 years, so I still have my PayPal right now. I haven't gone and done the Stripe yet, and I will, because I feel like it's coming that I'm not going to be able to use PayPal soon, or within the next couple of years. So I need to do it. I just haven't done it yet. As usual, I will procrastinate until I have to. So I just like PayPal, the ease of it, because I can I can pay out and then I get a notification, and I'm sure it's the same with Stripe, but I don't know. I'm just used to PayPal, so and I don't mind paying the little bit of fees to get my money faster. I do like that about PayPal. So I'm okay with that too. So yeah, you can't buy off of your ledger. Um, and if a refund gets issued to your buyer because of some, like if you didn't give if you said that it was in excellent condition and it was crap. Yeah, no, I Spy Vintage. PayPal is no longer an option. I'm basically I'm grandfathered in right now because I already had PayPal and I already set up PayPal. But no, if you're a new seller, you don't have the option for PayPal, which is fine. You'll be fine with Stripe. Everything I've heard, Stripe is great. So I really need to switch, but I'm comfortable, so I don't do what I should do. I'm comfortable where I am. All right. I'm going to wrap another thing while I chat with you. This is really cute. This is going to Shauna. It's the Serenity Prayer on this really cute. And then there's also a Serenity Prayer book. Isn't it pretty? There you are, Shauna. It's coming to you. I got to wrap it up all nice and pretty. So it comes to you in one piece. I'm so glad you got this. I think I actually, yes, you got two really cute journals. I think actually I bought this one for myself because I started going to Al-Anon meetings, but then I realized that the vibe at the Al-Anon meetings in my area were just not my vibe, so I stopped going. Al-Anon, for anyone who doesn't know, Al-Anon is kind of like it's a support group for people who family or friends who are alcoholics, and it's to help them cope, I guess is the best way to describe it. Aunt Bananas Bunches of Bargains says, I have Stripe and it's great to have it right into the bank, usually only 24 to 36 hours. I can't wait that long. I like PayPal. It takes about 5 minutes from Whatnot to PayPal. I got a notification from Whatnot I get a notification from PayPal saying my funds have arrived, and then I quickly go in and boom, I'm there. Hi, country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, Michelle's mama. Take me home, country roads, high, low. Big Vits. I like Big Vits, and I cannot lie. The disease doesn't just affect them, it affects everyone around them, so you need that support system. I missed the first part of that. Sorry. All right. Oh, yes. Sorry. Yes. Yes. Alcoholism affects everyone, the family. We did take the kids to Alateen because my ex-husband was an alcoholic. He's now sober. But and runs marathons and stuff. It's so weird. He's lost all kinds of weight because he got that surgery. And but it hasn't changed. The alcohol enhanced his as weepayness. But he hasn't changed how he is. According to my daughter, he's still an as weepay. Which, if you look that, you have to just write it out as weepay, and you'll figure out what I'm saying. And yes, it is a reference to it is a reference from, I think it's Wayne's World. This is Shauna. Shauna. Okay. Yeah. I will remain 10 years old, referring to references from my childhood. Ooh, the Brothers Grimm book. The Brothers Grimm book. I am trying to be productive today. I'm almost at the bottom of the pile. There's one big thing that I am leaving till the last but I need to have everything wrapped up and everything in boxes and take it with me today because after I finish here, I'm going to finish doing my shipping. I've got to go drop it all off at Chit Chats in Peterborough, and then I have an auction pickup, I think. I have to double check my email. I might not have won anything, but if I did win something, I got to go do the auction pickup this afternoon. And I have to just be careful not to. I am trying to buy less than I used to. I used to buy box lots and all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to behave myself. It's so hard. I like the old references the kids today and their skippity I don't even know what those are, Big Bits. I'm not connected with kids these days. I'm like out of the loop. So out of the loop. This is Nietzsche's. I'm going to tape that on so I know whose it is. What am I doing there? You have sons? Your sons? Yeah. All of the kids. Like I have my daughter who's 29 this year. My stepson is going to be 30 this year. And the step kid just turned 20 in January. It makes me feel super old because, when I met her, she was 6 years old. I feel super old. So, it's a ridiculous YT reference. I think that's where it started. A YouTube reference, or see, I see YouTube, and when they have that the music app, and it said, so when I read YT, I think white. So I was like, I don't want to listen to white music. I don't want to. So I deleted the app because I was like, I'll just stick with Spotify. I don't need to. I want to listen to different music, not just white music. It felt. I know that's not what they meant, but considering that's how it looks, I was like, couldn't you just put YouTube music? When I came into my oldest stepson's life, he was 5. Now is now 16. Makes me go, where's I know. I remember when Sam was 6, and she was just tall enough to be at my belly button, and she was an adorable little imp. She's still adorable. She's very pretty, and she works hard, which I'm glad. And she has turned her life around a little bit, and hopefully she continues to do so, because I want the best for her. But it's tough when you aren't the parent. There's only so much that you can do to help, because you're not the parent. And if they're not going to listen to you, you can't force them. It is hard being a step parent, because it just feels like sometimes I just go like, my husband doesn't, like, if we go out to a restaurant, my husband won't say like when I was a kid, if we went to a restaurant, you got dressed up to go to a restaurant, right? Not like your Sunday best, but you, depending on the restaurant, right? You would get dressed up to go out for dinner. And I feel like his kids would do like the absolute opposite. And we'd go into a restaurant, and it was just like, I don't know. It's because of the way I was brought up. So yeah, it's sweatpants and then I don't know. It's just the way I was brought up that you got dressed up. And I'm just not used to it. And I've just come to accept it. Sandals. Oh dear, no, it's not sandals. Oh God, my husband wears flip-flops all summer. All summer he wears flip-flops. Drives me nuts. All summer. Oh yay, this is the other one that's yours, Shauna. This cute little book. It's so cute. My son wears sandals in the winter. Ah, no, my goodness, this poor little feetsy weetsies. That. I mean, I assume you don't live somewhere where there's like 2 feet of snow all the time. Vixen Veronica says, I live in sandals, so that's because I'd be barefoot. Yeah, and in the summer, I don't wear shoes outside. My feet are a disaster because of it, but I love to just wear nothing. And wonders why he gets sick. Gee, yeah, I wonder why when your feet are cold and wet all the time. Oh my goodness, Big Fits. There's no. Oh yes, you're in Elliott Lake. That's right. Yeah. Okay. That's yeah. There may be a health issue there for sure. Oh gosh. I mean, does he think he looks cool? Is that why he does it? Because it's like cool to like walk around with icicles. Oh, okay. Yeah. It's so cool. Oh dear. Oh dear, children. Kids these days. I feel so old saying that. Oh, those kids these days. They just don't understand. Oh, and we were talking about, I think before the raid arrived, we were talking about get off my lawn, you kids. We were talking about the surprise sets because there's no mysteries anymore on Whatnot. There's just surprises. So if you were gonna do a surprise set, if I was doing like books, I would do like all nonfiction books or all reference books. It should be a set of the similar things. So for example, if you're doing jewelry, you wouldn't do a mixed bunch of jewelry, like some bracelets and some earrings and a brooch and etc. It has to be like all bracelets or all brooches. So you could do multiple surprise sets in one show. You just have to take it out. Jojo and Soul says that resource I told you about is live right now selling, and you can see all the bundles they have. Ooh, okay. Did you can you DM me that so I can take a peek? It's their background. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, if you can send me the link, or you can just say it. You can say who they are, as long as you're being nice about it. Gamer streams, can they still do different platforms? Xbox, PS5, etc. I guess so. I guess you could. That is possible. I assume that you could, as long as it was all games. It was always as long as it was all video games. But I guess I'm just gonna check right now. Hang on. I'm gonna just go back and then go forward. Yeah, your message hasn't come through yet. Yes, D, read the surprise rules, because I'm going to be doing some surprise wheels, surprise sets of like Blue Mountain Pottery, just because there's so much of it. So I'll be probably doing like shows where it's just like Blue Mountain Pottery surprise wheel, but you have to list everything, and you do not put values. I'm still seeing it, so I don't know why you can do that, but not lipstick and blush. Yeah, so lipstick, you could do you could do lipsticks, you could do blush, you could do like, sets, like you could do makeup sets that are already pre-packaged. Yes, and it is going to change again because Whatnot needs to get as far away from gambling as they possibly can. And so surprise sets need to be that you decide on what the value that you're willing to pay. You decide on the value. You're not being told this is worth. And because one of the things was, so what was happening was, for example, in the Disney category, they were doing one epic lounge fly bag. Hi, Tasha, how are you? One epic lounge fly bag. And then the other 99 items were socks, a pair of socks. They were cool, brand new Disney socks, but, oh no. All right. Yeah. When you get a chance, DM me. It's not coming through right now, but when you get a chance, DM me, Jojo Sloan, so I can look at it. I won't look at it now just because it's not positive, but sounds like it'd be kind of funny to watch for a bit and then not want to watch. So yeah, so basically what they were doing is that people were gambling to win that chance to win the big, fancy, expensive rare lounge fly bag. And then if they didn't hit that number, 99 out of 100 of them of the purchases were just socks. And of course, people start to feel a little resentful for that when they think back on what they did, right? Sometimes, when they feel resentful about a decision that they made, they talk about it like they got cheated by the app. But they didn't get cheated by the app or the seller, because the seller was transparent about it, but it was a little bit too much like gambling. So now they're getting away from that. Remember that Whatnot is spreading across the world, right? So as they move around the world, there are some countries have really loose laws around gambling, and other countries have really strict laws around gambling. They need to make sure that what they're doing on Whatnot can be transferable and follow laws in other countries. So as they grow, they also need to be so careful about that. So you are going to see changes as they grow. They're in Australia now. It's so freaking exciting that they're in Australia, the Netherlands. You sent me pick. Okay. Do. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Those are the bundles in the background. Well, I had a crappy, if you watched my show yesterday, I had a really crappy background. I will definitely have to check that out. Thank you so much, Jojo. I appreciate that. I look forward to, I love looking at what other people do, good or bad, good, bad, ugly, or in between. This is the second to last thing I have to wrap. This is exciting. This is going to Dream Glam. This is so cool. Dream Glam bought the World of Van Gogh book, and it is so cool. It's got so many great pictures in it and all the history of Van Gogh. And it has its own cover. The cover's not in the greatest condition, but it's okay. The information is there. Oh, I need more. Hang on. I got to find some more wrap. Yo. So, okay. All right. I have it all over the place. So if you have any questions about Whatnot, or feel free to share your shows. It's 12:06, so I'm going to find someone to raid after I finish wrapping this book, because the last thing I have to wrap is going to take some concentration, because it's a very delicate piece. So I'm going to do that after I finish talking with you guys. Oh, okay, Jojo. We shall chat more. We'll definitely chat more. And thanks for coming in. And thank you, everybody who came in and stayed. And thank you to Draz for the raid. I love you. You are awesome. Let me see if there's anybody in the community that I can go visit. Because I like to take our community to another community if there's somebody chatting. Premium swimwear show. Okay, honey, that's not really community, but good for you. Hang on, I'm going to listen in. I try to be a safe place, but some people may not feel unsafe. Oh, geez.
I know, right? I won't keep them forever. I swear I will part with them. And you guys, I'm just going to send you something out of my bin. I ran out of time to...
Okay, we're going to go there, because there's a few of our friends that are in there. So, you're welcome, Hand Stitch. I hope you found some information out. And, we talk about everything else in between. We talk about everything. Today is Thursday, so that means I'm getting my third Mounjaro shot tonight. Getting my husband to do that, because I don't like stabbing myself. I love you, Dee. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being an awesome friend that I can share memes with. Every once in a while, I'm like, I'm going to send this to Dee. She's probably like, I'm busy working, Kim. Why aren't you busy working? But yes, when I sit down for a rest, you want memes? Send me a message on Instagram. I will send you memes. Oh my gosh, I'm like the meme queen. Also, if you just follow me on Instagram, I like repost everything. My stories is just tons of it. Like usually there's like, if you go into my stories, it's up at the top, it's going to take you like an hour to get through them, because there's like usually 20 or 30 a day. It's pretty awful. But I can't help myself. Okay. Hey, sassy girls, keychains. How are you? I'm sorry I didn't see you come in. How are things in your world? And when is everyone having a show? Because I'm not doing a show today, I don't think. No, I'm not doing a show today, so I need somewhere to go today. So tell me where I'm supposed to go. Stifler's mom and I said Stephanie's mom is awesome. I love. Okay, so we're going into Flippin' Mimi, Texas. I have never been in one of her shows, so just saying, I haven't been in her show, but we're going to go over to Flipping Mimi, Texas, because there's a couple of our friends who are watching right now. So that usually means if my friends are watching, then it's probably good. So we're going to go there. She's a sweetheart. She seems like she's a sweetheart. She looks like a lot of fun. Yeah. So we're going to go to Flippin' Mimi, Texas. If you're a Canadian, put a whole bunch of Canada flags in the chat. Let's blast her with Canada flags. And if you're an American or from another country, you can put whatever you want. You don't have to put Canada flags if you don't want to. It's okay. But Canada flags is kind of what I do when we go into shows. So I love you guys so much. Thanks for hanging out. Let's go talk with Flipping Mimi. And have a great day. I love you. Bye for now.